hope you all are doing very well. Thank you for joining me. So today's reading is the person on your mind. What have they realized about you? Okay, and we do have 3 groups for you to choose from. Group 1, the pink tourmaline. Group 2, the rose quartz cluster, geode. And group 3, the rainbow moonstone. Okay, so group 1, 2, and 3. If you do want to take a moment to choose your group, feel free, but I shall see you all in your readings. Hey, if you've chosen the first group, the pink tourmaline crystal, then this reading is for you. So we're only doing tarot cards today, right? So the person on your mind, what have they realized about you? We have Judgment upright, Ace of Swords upright, and we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So the person that you're asking about, they've come to realize that in their perception, you are judgmental and cautious of them. It doesn't really feel like they see you as judgmental as a whole, like in general, but they do see you as maybe passing judgment on them right now, or due to something in the past. They do feel like you are cautious of them. They've realized that you care about making the right decision, especially in regards to not repeating mistakes of the past, or just not having a repeat of something, from the past, even if it's not considered a mistake to you. They've realized that you are very decisive, and that when you make up your mind, like, that's it, and they've realized that they need to forgive you in their perception, but they feel like you won't or don't forgive them. They feel like, wait, hold on. It feels like they've realized that you are steering clear from them, and that you're kind of moving on from them. So they feel like they need to forgive you for some of you, this is for being overbearing. Actually, this could be for moving on. They could feel like they need to forgive you for moving on. That was clarified by the 3 of Swords, so I don't know if it felt like a betrayal to them, or if it just really hurt them. 10 of Swords came out as well. So it could have hurt them, and they feel like they need to forgive you for that. They've realized that you like to be in control, and that you're quite cold towards them, mostly. So they don't really feel like you're cold in general. They could feel like maybe you're in a colder energy right now, especially towards them, and maybe a few other people in your life. But yeah, they've realized that you have transformed, you've grown so much, and that you've moved on to a new phase in your life, a new phase that doesn't necessarily include them. And they've realized that the 2 of you are no longer on the same page. They've realized you are someone who's incredibly high value, and that you value yourself a whole lot more now. And they realize that. They realize that they should have just listened to you. For some of you, this could have been about money matters. It could have been about something you're more aware of course, as well. But they've realized that you really cared about them, or that you really care about them, especially in regards to the past, but also that you still may have some care for them, but you're kind of done with them at the same time. But you know, they realize that you know exactly what you want, and that you see them for who they are now, which could be as someone who is, who can be selfish and only thinks of themselves. Like, that's how they think you perceive them. And they think that you're very clear-headed about them now. And they've realized how assertive you are, or how assertive you can be, or maybe you've moved into this very assertive energy and they realize that now. It's like they realize that they cannot treat you how they treated you in the past, because you've leveled up, you've transformed, you've grown so much in this person's opinion, you know? And they do feel like you are in a very serious energy right now as well. They realize that they should have been honest with you from the beginning, or, whenever they should have been honest with you. They feel like they should have communicated more openly with you as well. And they have realized in their perspective that there is nothing you can't overcome, and that you will always turn a negative into a positive, or you'll always find a way to work through a challenge, or, make it through something, that you won't just give up. Honestly, they kind of feel like you are a force to be reckoned with, and they've realized that you are very successful in your own right. They've realized you no longer trust them, and that things won't go back to how they were in the past. They kind of feel like they have made irreparable damage to the relationship that they had with you, whether it's a friendship or, work colleague, or romantic. But they feel like they have made, you know, made changes that they can't really, what's the word? I don't know, go back to anyway. But yeah. So they've also realized that you like and or want your independence, and that you're just, for some of you, it could be that you're just independent in general. They believe that you won't let them off easily. It's like if they were to try to make amends with you, that it wouldn't be just, easy for them to do that. And, they kind of feel like they would have a lot of work to do if they were to be in your life. So they feel like they've also realized that you have no empathy for them anymore, which does upset them. They've realized you have a lot of trauma, and maybe they didn't realize that in the past, like how deeply affected you were. But they know now that they shouldn't have lied to you. They've realized that they were too reliant on you, and that you became fed up with them. So depending on who you're asking about, they realize that they shouldn't have cheated on you. But if this is a platonic kind of connection, family connection, friendship, they realize, I mean, this could be cheat in another way, like maybe lied to you, or, done something behind your back, something like that. They realize that they shouldn't have done that. For some of you, this is more so about maybe picking someone else over you. So for some of you here, please only take this if it resonates, but they have realized that you have bad parents, and they realize now how much that has impacted you and how much that has affected you. They realize that they were the cause, or one of the reasons, that you are in a negative space, or that you were in a negative space. It feels like they don't really want to make amends, because they've realized that they can't, or that it's impossible to rebuild your relationship. So they've also realized that you're very intuitive, very smart, like you see through a lot of things. And that's another reason why they feel like they shouldn't have lied to you, or they shouldn't have been, sneaky or dishonest, because they realize now that you have very good judgment, that you have very good intuition and awareness of situations, not only of yourself, but of other people. And for some of you, they've also realized that you don't really care about keeping up with appearances. They also feel like you have a bad relationship with a woman in your life. I don't know for some of you if this is a mother figure for you, but it feels like they've realized that now, or a sister, older sister, younger sister. But yeah, that is all I have though for this group. I do hope it could be helpful. But take care of yourself, okay? Be good and be safe, right? Hey there, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen the second group, then this reading is for you, the person on your mind. What have they realized about you, okay? And today I'm only using tarot cards, all right? So we have the Strength card upright. We have the Four of Cups upright as well. And we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So this person not only realizes how strong you are, but they realize how strong you make them feel or made them feel. They feel like you are so passionate and driven, and they feel like they finally realize this about you. They realize you also have a lot of sex appeal and how attracted they are to you. It feels like they've realized the chemistry they have with you, they realize how assertive you are or how assertive you can be. They've noticed that they really care about you. They've noticed how much of a catch you are and how brave you are or have been throughout your life. They think a lot of people put you on a pedestal and think highly of you. And they've realized that you have tamed them, or if this is not something that's happened already, they feel like you have the ability to tame them. They think that you are controlling of them, or they think that you would be controlling of them, or they do feel like you have a certain level of control over them, even if it's unintentional on your part. But it feels like they like it. They like the control you have over them, and it feels like they want it that way too. They like when you control them, and they've realized that you like to lead. This could be in like specific areas of your life, maybe not as a whole, but they do feel like you like to lead. They've realized that a lot of people hate on you as well, even people you are supposed to be close with, like certain friends, family members, not all, obviously, but certain people. And it actually feels like some of you could be unaware, like it feels like you could be unaware about these people in your life, but it feels like the person you're asking about it, they see it. They see people being envious of you, but I don't know if they feel like you don't notice it, but in their perspective it feels like you haven't noticed. But they have realized that you really trust yourself and that you are very mentally strong. They've realized that you are hardworking, or at least maybe right now you're working hard towards something specific, or it could be that you're just hardworking in general. But they realize how like lively and energetic you are. They've realized that you have control, or that you're showing control over your emotions, maybe your anger, and I don't know, it just feels like you're extremely fiery to them and dedicated to the things you feel strongly about. They've also realized that they really do regret how they've treated you. They realize that they were or are very close to losing you, which has changed their perspective on you, you know? I mean, this could have been the thing that changed their perspective on you. losing you or being close to losing you. And they've realized as well that they were too focused on the negative in the past, but it feels like they're not now, or they feel like they're not focused on the negative anymore now. It feels like they realize how grateful they are of you, and they feel like they need to pull their weight with you as well. And they've noticed that you aren't stagnant in your life anymore. For some of you, this could be that you weren't stagnant in the first place, but in their perspective, they felt like you were, you know? But they really do feel like they need to be careful with you. They've realized that they can lose you at any moment or at any slip up. They think that you still have a certain level of apathy towards them as well. And they've realized that you are extremely happy without them. And for some of you, they really do feel like they were quite delusional about you, in thinking that you were immature, thinking that you were naive, in thinking that you needed them for some of you. It feels like they didn't realize just how strong you are, and they realize that you have emotionally detached now, maybe not entirely, but more so than before. They've also realized that you won't be friendly towards them. For some, they've realized that you aren't their friend right now. And this person could have listened to, gossip about you. They could have, believed the negative about you. Like they could have, tried to see the worst in you for some of you guys. It may not be that, severe, but it feels like they did listen to things or believe things that weren't true, and they realize that now. For some of you, they do feel like you need to reevaluate certain friendships that you have. It feels like they know things about your friends that you may not know. And they feel like, some friends of yours can't be trusted with you. They feel like maybe they don't have, your best intentions at heart. But they feel like it's not really easy for them to make you happy anymore. And they realize that they took you for granted. And they also think that you deal with a lot of envy, even if this isn't only about your friends. So they've also realized that you're very emotionally mature, or that you're kind of trying to remain emotionally mature. They realize how much of a compassionate person you are, how caring you are. And it feels like they wish that they had, seen it, acknowledged it, appreciated it more. But yeah, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could be helpful to you. But be good and be safe, all right? Take care. Hey, welcome to your reading. If you've chosen the third group, this Rainbow Moonstone, then the reading is for you, all right? So we've only got tarot cards today. So the person on your mind, what have they realized about you? Okay, so we have the Justice card in reverse. We have the Five of Swords upright, and we also have the Wheel of Fortune upright. So many swords has come out in today's reading. Anyways. So it feels like the person you're asking about, they've realized that you don't fight fairly in their opinion. They think that you are or can be unfair towards them. They feel like you don't really care about justice. You don't really care about getting justice. You only care about starting over or having them start over or having something fail. They've realized that they shouldn't have picked a fight with you. They've realized now that you see or you saw through their lies. Maybe you saw through their tricks, certain manipulations. They do think that you are manipulative or that you have manipulated a certain situation that involved the two of you. They could view you as manipulative in general, but only take that if it makes sense for the person you're asking about. But it feels like they have realized that they have lost your grace, and that you will be unfair to them from now on, moving forward. And they also feel you have been. They've realized that you want revenge. They've realized now that they shouldn't have been dishonest with you. And they do believe you were dishonest with them or just not upfront about a certain situation you could have been going through. For some of you, maybe your financial situation, whether this was good or bad, or maybe you weren't upfront about the challenges you had with them or another person who is or was struggling financially or struggling in some other area of their life. So they feel like you will do something to them and not really care about the consequences. They think that you both aren't taking accountability. They've realized that you aren't going to back down either, and that you aren't going to let them win. And they have also come to the conclusion that every time you both talk, it will turn into an argument or just an unpleasant situation, or it just won't get anywhere. And they also have realized that you are done with a situation that involves the two of you. They could also feel like you're done with them as a whole as well. They've realized that you are aggressive and assertive. They think they should give up on fighting you because you'll just fight them right back. And they've realized that you aren't afraid of them. If anything, they've realized that they should be afraid of you, and it feels like they're halfway there to being afraid of you, or afraid of, certain repercussions or consequences. They do think of you as having changed. They realize that they should stop talking with you or stop. Let me see. Maybe, they realize that they should stop reaching out to you. It just feels like they've noticed now, that you won't accept abuse. You won't tolerate it. And they've realized that you can be, violent too. Whether this is, I don't know if this is physically or with your words or, energetically, whatever it may be. They either realize you can be or that they think you can. Like you wouldn't hesitate if the situation came about. For some of you, they do really believe you want to hurt them. They have realized that you are changing your life for the better and that they should just admit defeat. They've realized that you are very blessed and pretty much untouchable in their opinion. They believe that you have made up your mind about them and that you're sticking to it. They've also realized that you will be successful. And they really look at you and think that you're up and they're down. And they realize that they should just leave you alone, but it feels like a part of them just can't. Like, it feels like they are obsessed with you, so it feels like they can't just let go of you or let go of your energy easily. And it feels like It feels like they will continue to reach out to you. Okay. For some of you, they will continue to reach out to you because they know or they think that it will ruin something for you or put you in a not nice place. Like, so it feels like that's why they will continuously reach out to you, even if you don't reply to them, you know? But yeah, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could be helpful. But be safe and be good, all right? Take care.